It's been a lesson. And it's allowed for my natural progression when I realize it's not about me. It's not really even about me. Sometimes it's just that other person. But if you exacerbate it, the situation starts to worsen. But how could you mitigate and make the situation lessen, right? How could you take a breath and appreciate the blessing? It's just one question, right? So, I was at my family's house one time, and I remember I learned this lesson of not taking things personally one day, where it was my job to wash the dishes around my family's house and also to take out the garbage, take out the recycle bin on, Thursdays, take out the trash bin on Mondays. And I remember that one day I woke up a little late. I kind of overslept. You've had those nights, or you've had those mornings maybe. In the rising, you get up, no alarm clock, oh snap, did I take the garbage? Did I take the recycle? Oh. And so right before I rush to go out, I hear the sound that must have woke me out of my dream, that woke me out of the astral realm, and it's the sound of the garbage truck passing the house. It's passing us by. And it doesn't matter. You can wait a whole week, but if you don't have that can at that stop, if you don't have that garbage bin out there, they're not turning around. They're not coming back. It's done. They're gone. So I rushed out there. I tried to drag it out to the street, but they were gone. And I said, oh man, what do I do now, right? They were counting on me. My family was counting on me to take out this thing. Now we got to wait a whole week with this full trash bin. I said, nah. I'm not going to let anyone know. I devised a plan. I started scheming, right? The spirit team was behind me. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw this bin in my van, and I'm going to drive to the nearest dumpster can, and I'm going to dump it inside. So I got in the ride, I threw it in the back, I threw it in the trunk, I clunked it down. I'm peeling out, I'm going to the nearest dumpster can that I can find. I opened the dumpster, and it was just a little bit of time, maybe 5 minutes, took out the cash, took out the trash, and dumped it in the can, right? Dumped in all of this trash inside. And then I put it back into the van and was just about to leave, but I feel something. Something on the back of my neck. You ever had your hair stand up? Or you ever feel that sensation? Like you feel energy, I'm sure. If you're listening to this right now, I'm sure you work with energy. Maybe you perceive that someone is watching you. You ever had that feeling like, why does it feel like somebody's watching me? Isn't that a song? So it felt wrong. It was like, wait, what is going on? And I turn around and I look, and sure enough, there's a white van, big old white van that's parked right behind my car. And it's just stopped there, just looking at me. 2 guys in the front, driver and passenger seat side. They're both just watching me. And I was like, were they watching me while I was dumping this garbage? And so I slowly go back to my vehicle, and then the guy opens the door. He steps out the car. And so I take a look. I'm like, okay. He says nothing. He walks straight up to me, pulls out his cell phone, takes a picture of my license plate, then points the cell phone at my face, takes a picture of my face. I said, whoa, sir, what's going on? What is this? What are you doing? He points to the dumpster. He said, that's my dumpster. I said, what? He said, that's my dumpster. That dumpster you just dumped all your garbage in, that's mine. I own that. I said, oh. I said, hey, my bad. It's all good. My bad. I didn't know. He said, get your crap out of there. He takes a look under the bin. He sees the trash. He said, get your crap out of my dumpster. I said, sir, it's all right. I'm sorry. I'll take care of it. He's like, no, get it out now. right? Now, it felt like in that moment, he was taking this really personally. Like, I know it wasn't that much garbage. It was just a little bit, but still, he said, that's my dumpster. He took it as a personal attack. I could feel it. I could feel the wave of energy, the negative wave of energy, the anger, the inner just like, how dare you, right? This young buck coming over here dumping his garbage. How dare he? So I asked him, just honestly, I said, hey, I didn't know. I'll get it out. I'll get it out the trash. Do you have a bag? Do you have something I can get it out with? He said, you know what? I know how to take care of this. Let me just call the cops. I'm going to just call the police. We'll take care of this. Yeah, it's just going to be a $500 fine. It's all good. We'll call the cops right now. I'm like, yo, stop. Like, what are you doing? What? It's not even that serious. He's like, no, just hold on. They'll be right over here. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, $500 fine. I don't even have, at the time, I didn't even have $500 in my bank account. Like, $500? What am I going to, what? What are my folks going to say? So I jump inside the dumpster. And this was so embarrassing. I'm like reliving this moment. I'm taking out the garbage, out the dumpster. I'm grabbing the bottles, whatever I put in there, and I'm like throwing it outside, and then I grab the bin and I'm throwing it in the bin, and his coworker is just looking at me and he's just like shaking his head. He can't even say anything, like that's his boss. He can't even say anything. I get all the garbage out. He talks to the cops and he's like, yeah, he's getting it out right now. Yeah, he's taking care of it. All right, thank you. Bye. He clicks, gets back in his car, and drives like 5 feet up to his building. Now I got all the garbage back in the garbage bin. I put it back in the back seat. And I noticed something before I leave. He gets out of his van and he walks to his building. And I notice he's limping. Like, if you've seen people with a strong limp, like maybe they got injured during a time in their life, and this man is limping to the front door of his office building. And in that moment, something hit me and said, Jerome, this man is in pain. He's hurting. It wasn't even about you. None of this was about you, right? Because the young buck in me, the upstart in me, I'm thinking, yo, I should come back and graffiti this man's building. I should come back and slash his tires. I should come back, all these thoughts might be going in your mind like, who does he think he is? But no, he's in pain. There's no shame. In that moment, I realized what they say, how hurt people can hurt people. And they might take out their pain, their anguish, their inner agony on someone else. When they feel attacked, when they feel like you've gone against something that hits them at their core, they want you to feel it more. So has this ever happened in your life? Have you ever been taken aback, right? Or ever been kind of attacked, but you had to just slow your roll down and realize, no, I'm in control of my response. It's not even about me. This book right here is by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I just want to read a short passage. It's called The Four Agreements. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book, but it's a nice one. And, they got 4 agreements in this book. The first one is be impeccable with your word. The third one's don't make assumptions. The last one is always do your best. But the second one, usually people have a hard time. I've had the hardest time in my life with this second one. And it's simply put, don't take things personally. It says, there is a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. You become immune to black magicians, and no spell can affect you, regardless of how strong it may be. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. As you make a habit of not taking anything personally, you won't need to place your trust in what others do or say. You'll only need to trust your personal self to make responsible choices. You are never responsible for the actions of others, only responsible for you. And when you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, "I love you," without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes. You can say no, whatever you choose, without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always, and then you will be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss, and hell will not affect you at all. I love this passage because someone once told me that holding a grudge against someone is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Could you imagine? Ingesting poison and waiting for someone else to die. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you ever hold that in your heart? But that's what we do when we hold a grudge, when we take something personally, when we have vengeance in our heart. We set ourselves apart. We keep that dark energy boiling, burning, right? Churning within us. So this was just a short message letting you know that you always have the power. You always have the choice. You could be silent. You could use your voice. But you don't have to react. You can stay calm. You can bring out that peace in the way you respond. Blessings, my friend. Thank you so much for listening and glistening always. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Keep that grateful, thankful spirit. And I trust that you will allow the rest of your life to be the best of your life.